What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. It's another episode of Fight Talk. Us brothers about to geek out about some fights. Guys, as usual, check the description. If you want to get straight to Fight Talk, check the description. Timestamp will be there. And I'm joined by K West, who's actually watching the main event right now. We had a UFC Fight Night this week, Cannonier versus Borralho. It was actually a pretty decent card, good fights. I think you've seen the results of the main card, and it was a great fight. It was a great fight. We'll get into the fights in a second. But how you been, bro? Before we get into the fights.
Yeah, I've been. It's been a really great week for me. I've been a lot to smile about, and a lot of projects coming up. It's abundant season. It's my month, man. August is my month anyway. So it's it's nothing unexpected, but it's been nice. It's been nice to kind of get myself out there, network, make these connections that I was always meant to, and yeah, just kind of harness your power, isn't it? Like know your worth, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you say that. Me and Kibble have been talking about that exact thing a while back about know your worth and respecting your worth and just not in allowing people to take advantage of that because it happens, man. And you fall into a cycle sometimes, man. And it's heartbreaking, but some people have no choice when they're they're hustling and whatnot. And people, I see it here every day, with the workers here. They're worth so much more. They're such hardworking people. But they have to hustle and they have to keep their mouth shut and do what they got to do for the best of their family. So, but yes, we're in a lucky position where we can kind of, when I say know your worth, make sure we can navigate around that to make sure we implement that.
That's it. That's it. So yeah, it was enlightening. It was enlightening. It was enlightening. It's been I'm happy.
Good. Well, that's a good thing. That's good.
Yeah.
Being happy. That's ultimately what we want to do when we grow up. When did I see that? Yes, I saw it in a movie, I think it was, where
Being
someone
happy.
was saying, I think it was a movie called Greedy People. It's actually really funny, actually. Well, it's actually a great movie. It went from comedy to just darkness to like thriller at the end. But anyway, I think the question someone was asking
Huh?
was saying when they were a kid and the teacher
Yeah.
asked what you want to be when you grow up, and the kid just said, I just want to be happy. And the teacher was
Oh.
and the teacher was like, I don't think you understand the question. And then the kid at this adult stage was like, come to think about it, I don't think the teacher understood the question. And it's like, yeah, I mean, why like being happy is actually the perfect answer. Why does it have to be attached to a career and all that sort of stuff? That shit are gonna make you happy. We've seen that recently. I've seen that so much recently. Obviously, like I'm not gonna go into it, but just like with have you heard of that guy Dan Bazarian or something like that? He's known for gambling and women and yes,
There's a
yeah.
big
Yeah, so I said he's known for gambling, having loads of money, and just loads of stunning women around him. But recently, he was on a podcast, the PD something podcast. Anyway, I won't go into it because he went in on Israel. But
Huh?
there was a portion of him that was like he was never happy with his life. Like it brought him bursts of what's the word? Happy energy. What's that? And what's that?
Adrenaline? Like a
Adrenaline, endorphins,
right.
right? But ultimate happiness, like continuous happiness, a purpose of life, they said he gave him nothing. That's why he's not into. I don't think he does any of that shit no more. He's more into religion. He's talking about he was going to read the Quran. Like he said he's not into
Whoa.
religion or whatnot, but he's interested in reading the Quran and stuff like that. But again, we've seen that with the Tate brothers and whatnot. But like the point is like what brings you happy? What makes you happy? And does career and money really make you happy? A lot of people maybe, but is it temporary boost of what you call it, endorphins, or is it genuine happiness? It's an interesting question, but know your worth, I think kind of ties into that question. And being happy, as you mentioned. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, like we know, a lot of people they're trying to we're all trying to figure out and navigate through this construct of a world and find our place in it, isn't it? But I feel like a lot of people they have to get external gratification from the internet, right? I look good, I'm this, I'm that. So everybody's out here trying to get approval from somebody that they don't really know, not realizing that you just need approval from yourself, and then everything will follow from there. So you got to look inwards. It's always that. I'm sure the Quran talks about it, Buddhism talks about it. Probably in the Bible, there's elements of where it's all about one, as opposed to the other. They'll figure it out, or they
Yeah.
won't.
I mean,
Not my business.
yeah, exactly. The world's constructed in a certain way, and these social media products and platforms and what. I mean, I won't lie and say what I probably was like that at one point. At one point, right now, there is an element of like joy, or I guess if you get some sort of validation or whatnot, which is why I probably use social media in one way because I could easily just delete it. You know what I mean? But there's an
Yeah,
element of it. But I remember back in the days, I was definitely like that. It was something I don't know what it was like.
we've all
And
been there.
I tie it
We've all
back
been
to yeah, I tie it back to like I guess when I first got Instagram and a smartphone. So one, I think it was new, and two, it was just like I just remember, man, I used to be like the selfie king. Everywhere I take a selfie,
there.
man. And I look back when those pictures come back as memories, I'm like, oh, that's so cringy. That's so cringy. With every little thing, bro. Every little thing, man was taking a selfie here and there. But now, if you look at like my Instagram stories, for example, it's rarely me. I'm taking pictures of what I'm doing, but not me involved. I don't like taking pictures of myself and shit as much. But and a
Mm,
rare occasion, I would post a picture of me and my missus. But that's personal, so I rarely do that. It's only special occasions. But back in the
yeah,
days,
yeah,
validation, bro. I wanted that too. I'm not gonna lie. Pictures of everything, me,
yeah,
selfies with the boys, with my friends, with my girl at the time. Like,
yeah.
cringe. Ooh, I feel
Is
cringe.
it?
Shit. Hey, but people do it. People get joy from it. It's not me anymore. I'm too old for that shit.
Speaking of that, right? My friend took me out yesterday to a bar. Oh, we went to get Wingstop first, because that's always our thing. And then he was like, "You want to get change of scenery?" I was like, "Okay." He said, "Yeah, let's go to a bar." So we went to a bar, and exactly what you would expect in a bar from modern day times is what I got there. So everybody had their camera up, they were flashing with their friends in it, they're dancing and they're twerking and they're recording that, twerking air and whatnot. And I'm thinking, it's this constant. And I was like, okay, I get it, and I said, he says to me, how do are you okay in here? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. We were literally just having a sip and just catching, yeah, catching a lean, as we call it. And he says like, I think, yeah, I'm fine, yeah. He said, what's your thing? And I said, not really this anymore, And he said this is his equivalent of his out public distraction, as opposed to what he would do at home and gaming and whatnot. So this is his equivalent.
Mm, mm,
And he said, "What's yours?" I said, "I don't need one. Like, I don't need to go outside and people watch.
mm,
But I guess, his life is different from mine. Perhaps he has stresses because he works, and he's got a different kind of style of work, and he needs that escape. That's his kind of
mm,
escapism.
mm.
Um, so yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was funny, man. And this girl, she tried to drop down to the floor and she fell over and she kept trying it again. And we're just like, we know that's for your Tinder, that's for your Hinge, and that's for your Instagram and possibly TikTok.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's what I could see. Hats off to them.
Hey man, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's everyone's individual place and life and whatnot. And we have our own thing. And we've I guess I don't even want to say we've grown up, right? Because I still feel like a kid anyway, because
Oh, I'm a child, man.
yeah, exactly. I guess things are just different. And plus, I think a level of privacy is different for me. Like this, okay, we do the podcast, yes, we talk, we express ourselves and whatnot. But in regards to like my family and what I'm doing out on a day-to-day, like I say, man, I would take pictures of my training. I would take pictures of UFC because we talk about it and whatnot. I wouldn't be like, I'm out shopping now. Here's some groceries, like you know what I mean. Like it just for me it goes too far. That goes too far, and whatnot. But anyway,
I get that.
it's the
I
world that
get
we
that.
live in, man. It's the world that we live
Yeah,
in, and I can admire people who's not on that. So my little brother is not on socials, and I'm like, bro, you're good. You're good
yeah,
that you're not on
yeah, yeah,
socials.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, if in my sense is that if I'm using it for intention, okay, so I've got content to put up and I've got a reason, I've got business going on, then that's it, because my goal is to reach somebody to eventually convert, but not to update people about, what kind of socks I wore on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm,
again, there is money in that. People can get paid from that. People can
mm-hmm.
get paid from so there, there is that too. And it's just about finding where you fit into it, because
Yeah. People
yeah.
do that,
So
like Instagram models, right? Like people, they like, listen, man. Look, it's the first time like you got these Instagram models, right? And people follow them because of their beauty and all that sort of stuff. But then as their stories, you're not only just following their beauty, you're actually now following their life. So you get to know them a bit more, and that's what they want
mm,
to say. Oh, yeah. And some people can be weird about it, but just in general, they can be like, hey, this is where I am today, and this is what I'm wearing today, and they're probably showing off the clothes, the Chanel or whatever the hell where they're wearing. This is the food I like to eat. I'm drinking this. Like they're getting to know that individual as well as just being admiring their beauty and whatnot, which is what like models and not just models, but actors and whatever. And then, social media figures and stuff like that. So, but yeah, what you said
mm.
about promoting stuff, of course, I use it for the Buds Geek Out podcast and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, listen, I mean, like, end of the day, I put it this way. I think for me, if you ever catch me, and I've done this, which is why I've acknowledged it. If you ever catch me overly happy on Instagram, quotation marks, meaning like, look at me, I'm so happy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That
Cloned.
means something's wrong. That means I'm not
That
happy.
means you got cloned.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm not happy. I've been there. I remember, like I said, I cringe at some of the things I think about, but I remember when you've gone through some shit, be it a breakup or whatever, and then you're just on Insta just showing how and social showing how happy you are and the great
Mm,
life you're living. You're like, this is not
mm,
happiness, this is bad. And I've gone so now I'm complete opposite. I don't show shit, and in life I'm happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything's great. But listen, again, that's just the way it is, man. That's just my thing as well. Like I used to be that dude who used to like want to post pictures of me and my chick back in the days, and I want everyone to see. And then it's just me again. I'm just cringing like, oh, it's embarrassing when you break up. It's like, hey, what happened then? What all the happiness? That's why with me and my missus, it's like that was all insecurity back then, which is why you would want to take pictures and shit. Now the insecurity is gone from in regards to that portion, which is why like, no, I don't want you guys to see me and my wife and what we're up to. Like she's like, that's personal between me and her. Like me and her are good.
mm.
There's no
Yeah.
insecurities to show everyone that look at our happy
Yeah.
life. I've
Uh,
seen it so many
uh,
times, and then you're just kind of like, I would never say it, but like you could just tell so and so just they just like all of a sudden there's no more pictures with the individual, and you're like, oh shit, hope you're okay, hope you're okay. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, that is tough. That is tough. I remember this. There's a couple that came to stay with me Airbnb. They were a Dutch couple, and we had a great time and everything. And they added me both on Instagram. And then maybe 4 or 5 months later, they weren't posting videos of them together anymore. And she unfollowed me, and I think he did. No, I think we spoke for a little bit, and they weren't together anymore. That's what one of them said. And then they stopped
Mm.
following, and I thought, oh, maybe they stopped following because I was a memory of them two together.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh
So I
my
was like,
god.
oh, but yeah, man, it's quite sad in the sense that we as humans feel like we have to do that to get validated and to feel happy and to show people this to kind of go through life. But everybody
Yeah,
has
maybe,
has their outlet, man.
yeah, I guess. And maybe like, validation was in us always, but we just never had that platform to expand it to the worldwide globe like we do now. Right. So maybe back in the days where someone's like, hey bro, your trim looks fresh, you're looking good, the shoes look cool. You're like, oh yeah, cheers, bro. Yeah. But you never no someone across the world wasn't able to say that. Now it kind of freaking elevated to that point where that
Mm.
emotion in us is kind of like elevated with it. Now you want that validation and whatnot. So I don't know,
Mm.
but yeah. But again, I feel like, maybe that's just a form of like, it depends, man. When someone does say, hey, you're looking good, it feels good. But if you want it, I want you people to tell me I'm good, then there's maybe
Yeah,
something there,
yeah.
That's where there's something sick, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, it is what it is. It
It
is what it
always
is.
stems from the childhood, man. Or it normally does.
Bloody
It
hell.
normally, yeah.
Yeah. That's it,
It's not
man.
that
That's it.
hard
We're
bar.
so fragile as kids, as humans, let alone kids, and then we have to bring that with us. Yeah.
It can be sticky. But yeah, so all of that. But yeah, What was I gonna say? So Crystal Palace worked out great. I now have some events coming up that are corporate events within the massage area, working with the youth and instilling knowledge to them. I spoke to one kid and he was like, oh, I really like sports therapy, but I've also done this and that. So I was guiding him and telling him, look, get all your qualifications. You don't want to work for no dude, right? It's going to take half your money. Get your qualifications, establish yourself, and build it up. And and then yeah, when I spoke to the boss guy, he was like, look, happy to bring you on board with it. We got all these things coming up. So so that's opened up that.
Awesome. That's great news,
Yeah.
man. That's great news. I'm glad it went well.
Oh yeah, man. Like I took a chance because I didn't seek any payment. I just thought let's go here and just do my thing. And I thought, okay, payments are off the window, just be here. And it paid off as I knew it would. As I knew it would
Hmm.
anyway. So so that's coming up and then and then I you were mentioning Saudi, right? Because I was mentioning Saudi. Did you? Right? Is that how it
Hmm.
came?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right, yeah. So I'm working it with the Spanish company already, and then this Saudi company called Fluency, and they teach people all over that region English via online teaching and this and that. So um so that started as well. So so yeah, so it's nice, man.
That is nice. That is nice. That's great. That's great news. That's great news, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear it, man. Glad to
right.
hear it, man. Cool,
But
man.
Saudi,
Oh.
I don't like I said, I don't have anybody in there to say, look, this is what's up. I'm not gonna risk going somewhere again and do what I did prior. Like I need someone like a bit of a stepping stone. You know, in Ghana, I've got that. I think I said to you in the voice, and I got a guy who's got a lot going on within sports as well. So I will look at that, get my passport, and move with that. But unless something else comes up in that magnitude, then then nothing.
Yeah, I'm not Ghana. I mean, Ghana sounds good. Sounds like a a great opportunity and whatnot. Especially like just coming out of the UK. I think anything, not anything, but most places is nicer. But yeah, with I listen. I get it. I get it because I wouldn't be able to move somewhere without a stability. I'm a stability guy. I'm a structured guy and whatnot. So it's hard. What you did was tough. It's brave and whatnot. I was privileged to have a job when I moved to Hong Kong, to Singapore, to here, because I know that part of things are covered, money's covered, and then you just work things from there. So I get it, man. I
Mm.
get it, man. But if you got opportunity in Ghana, that would be nice. And
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense,
I'm
man.
open. I'm open because I know with Ghana, it's an emerging market. So I'm thinking maybe I sort something out with the academy or some kind of teaching facility or something and build that and and have that moving. So I'm open to things, but I know that if I build something there, it's mine. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's my land, it's my plot kind of thing. And so that kind of stuck with me, the ownership of it.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I mean, I like, and plus, I'm sure you could buy like if you wanted to live out there and whatnot, you could buy a property for that. That would just be, an amazing value and whatnot, massive and all that sort of stuff. And that's the thing about these sort of places. And a friend of mine, you might have met him, Andy, when you came to my birthday at my house years ago for my birthday. There was another dude there named
He
Andy,
look-
I believe. He lives on my
What do you
road.
what do you look like?
Black guy, 50 years old, but he looked like he was 20. He works out, bald head. Um,
Blank.
I'm pretty sure Andy was there at the time. Anyway, family friend, he's known us forever. He's
Okay.
basically lived on our road since we were born. So since
Since
we
you
moved
oh
there, so he's
wow.
basically seen us since babies, right? It's like
Wow.
to us is like he calls mom and dad.
Right.
Idris calls him uncle. You know what I mean? He's a
Yeah.
brother to us, so we've known him for our whole life. Anyway, he just came back from Barbados, and when I was in London, he was when I was in London, he just got back, and he's like, "Gee, look at this place, man!" And he was just telling me like, "Look, this is how much it costs," and it was like £100,000 or whatever, and it was huge. It was beautiful. Because it's all he's
Mm.
thinking about, that. And I'm like, Andy, just do it, man. Like, just go because
Mm.
look at this property, look at the
Mm.
background. All I see is palm
Mm.
trees, blue skies, sun, grass. I'm like. And he'll do it. And he's like, gee, I'm just like, he's been living in London his whole life. I'm like, bro,
Mm.
do it. Do it, do it, do it. Give
Yeah,
us an excuse to come out to Barbados as well.
that's it.
Um,
That's it.
so
That's it.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, that's the thing, man. I mean, I would not even think about coming back to the UK if it wasn't for my family. You know what I mean? And I'm not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
People might think I'm shitting all over the UK. And the day it's home. I love it. I love it. But
That's your
it's
opinion.
yeah, it's my
No
opinion.
one gets
Yeah,
to say anything. It's your, and
yeah.
the thing is, while I was away, many people were just like, are you going back to London? Maybe. I would never do that. And they were English people, you know? They were English white people that they're from here, born here, whatever. And they were saying that about their own country. So,
It's
you
tough.
know,
It's just the living standards is definitely tougher. Just put it that way. You know, it's not as easy as other places. And
it's not what it
happiness,
was
man.
before,
Happiness,
right?
man. Yeah, exactly.
It's not what
And
it was
don't get me
before.
wrong, you can still go there. A lot of people want to go there. For most people, for a lot of people around the world, bro, it's still an amazing place because their place is not great, war torn and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
happiness, you know, would you be happy there and whatnot? Only reason why I'll be happy in the UK is if is be with the family. Unless I can
Mm,
set myself up financially to kind of quit my job and not have any financial obligations, but just live and then be with my family, then happiness will be there. Anyway, you know,
mhm.
just a thought
That's
about Ghana, moving to Ghana and whatnot, as you were saying, like just as that being an opportunity. It's
yeah.
great,
Next
great
year,
opportunity there.
passport. Hmm?
No, it's great that the opportunities can be there.
Yeah, next year, passport, and then I'm gonna do some research, figure some things out. My friend, he's a football agent. He's just coming to some interesting things, so I have a place to stay for, I believe, as long as I need it to, so I can check out the emerging markets, make the connections, work online. In the meantime, so I don't have to worry about I don't have enough money, so I can do all those things and then some, and then come back with, okay, well now I've seen these things. I'm gonna come here and make some money, and then, ugh. So that's what it looks like, friend.
Cool, man. Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good,
Yeah.
man. Envisionment for the future, man. But
Yeah, it's on
cool.
the
On
whiteboard, man. It's on the
yeah, man.
whiteboard. It's on the vision
Nice.
board. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, what else is behind you is the fights, man. Let's get into the let's get into the fights.
We're still fighting.
It's still fighting. Spoiler alert, we're gonna get into it.
Fifth round.
It does go to full 5 rounds of the fight. And let's get into the fight talk. So let me just share my
Go on.
screen.
Yes.
Let me share my screen so we can see what we're talking
I've
about
seen this
here.
guy before. He's the one who wears the glasses, isn't he?
Yeah, the nerd
Yeah.
fight camp.
Yeah.
They I don't know if that's what they call it, but the nerd fight camp. So Gerald
Yeah.
Cannonier, number 5 versus Caio Borralho, number 12 in the middleweight division, bro. It was actually a great back and forth fight. Great back and forth fight. And also, you know, we spoke about this the other week with Umar and Corey Sanhagen. I mean, I think
Oh my
Borrello
God.
actually thanked Cannonier to say thank you for giving me this opportunity because he is number 12 versus number 5. And he just beat a number 5 contender, man. You know what I mean? That puts him straight in there in the top 10. In the top 10, around maybe 6 or 7 or something like, you know.
Hmm.
And he's shown that he belonged because his striking looked good. I think he's known more for his grappling, but his striking looked good, and that's what it was. Ultimately, it was a striking battle throughout the whole fight. And in fact, he rocked Cannonier twice. You know, Cannonier did survive, and he went the full 5 rounds, but he rocked him twice. You know, Cannonier had some
Ah.
great moments too. He had some great moments too. I think I would say Cannonier won 2 rounds maybe, and Borralho won 3. So it was a good like matchup between them,
Hmm.
good back and forth. But Borralho did show that he belonged there. His striking was great, and he did connect twice and rocked Cannonier. The second time I thought it was over. The way Cannonier fell, I thought it was over. I'm surprised he survived that. And it's happening in the 5th round. I don't know if they're on the ground yet, but yeah, I don't know where you are in the fight, but it happens in the 5th round. And the way he falls over, I thought it was done. But he ended up surviving and he went the distance. But really good back and forth fight, man. Really good.
Makes okay, because the still that I saw was probably that knockdown, and I was like, oh no, that's the results. And I thought,
mm,
okay, he got knocked out. So I had no idea that he actually had survived it. But yeah, to be straight with you though, that like Cannonier, it's a good shakeup that this has happened, because like we said before, it's like he doesn't have enough to really take on the the top. He's good where he is, but he's not great. And I think there needs to be a shakeup, you know. So I'm not surprised this guy came in 12th and did what he did. And Umar, same, Sandhagen, you know, because these people are way up in the top, and not that they're not hungry or they've lost their prime, but there are some other animals up there that have different things, different fire, different ambition, different styles and whatnot. And it's great that they have the opportunity to show us and themselves that they belong where they are. So I wouldn't be surprised if more of these things start happening in divisions where someone's sitting in fourth and fifth, been there for a while, maybe fought for the belt and didn't win it, whatever, and all these other people come and just start overlapping and things changing because it's evolution.
Yeah, I think some people, and I guess it could depend on circumstances, because some people and most people won't take those fights, and a lot of people
True.
didn't and wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
And it's still,
Yeah.
and I feel like if you're like, for example, like Corey Sandhagen, I have to give it to him because he's up there. Like, oh, if I
Yeah.
just get a win, I could get title shot or whatnot. And some people, like, if I
Yeah.
just sit back, I'm next for the title, so why would I take that risk, right? So that
Right.
happens.
Yeah.
Cannonier's the situation where, you know, he fought for the title. You know, he's in the top 5. He fought for the title. He
True.
lost the last one against Nusradin Imamov. And
Yeah.
he was like, you know, well, I feel for him, like he definitely gave an opportunity, but it was kind of more like, there's no, what am I waiting for? I might as well have a fight, because it's not like you're not up for the title next. Even if you win your next bout, it's not like you're getting a title shot. So really, you know, he just done the opportunity, and it just goes to show within that top 15, really, especially
Mm.
these days, man, anyone and everyone is just, you know, amazing. The best of the world, right? They're the best in the world, right? Regardless. So
Mm.
great fight. I mean, I'm just looking at the what you call it, the
Vision.
rankings here. So Burrow's number 12. Who definitely come in what, 6, 7? I don't know if he will take fifth spot, but maybe, I don't know. Actually, well, let's see what they did with Umar for a second. Oh shit, Umar
Yeah.
became number 2.
Oh,
So okay, so that means if that
wow.
works for him, then maybe he might take. And what did Sandhagen for?
Damn.
Like number 4. So, you
Wow.
know, Umar, sorry, I don't know if it'll put Barrero number 2, but it'll definitely maybe put him in the top 5 and put Jerry Cannonier 6.
6 or
And that
7.
could give him put him up against like Nasruddin, or, you know, Whitaker's fighting Hamza, and Hamza wins, he's getting a title shot, it looks like. So he's
You
someone that
know.
might skip this queue. But then he's got, you know, Barrero's got, and Cannonier, to be honest with you. You got Marvin Vittori, they could fight Brendan
True.
Allen's
True.
in there, Paulo Costa's in there, Jack Hermanson. So there's a few fights for both of them in there.
That's
You know, because even for Borralho, like now he's in the top 10. He's like, I'm gonna want one of those guys, and Cannonier's gonna be like, yeah, I still want someone in the top 10. And maybe not take a risk outside of that now. So both of them still have those guys that they could kind of challenge with, which will be good.
yeah, absolutely. That's a well summed up, man. We got fights for at least a few months within the middleweight as things stand. Like high contended bouts too.
Definitely. Yeah, that Hamza and Robert Whitaker one. Looking forward to that if that happens, and that will
If
definitely,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. The co-main event, man, Angela Hill versus Tabatha Rishi.
Taba for Richie.
There you go. There you
Uh,
go. Um,
mm,
yeah, this was a good back and forth fight as well. And these girls
yeah.
just went at it, man. They went at it, and the pace was high, bro. The pace, I mean, the cardio was just unbelievable. The pace was high. Even at round 3, they're going at it. Richie kind of pulled it off at the end. I did think Angela Hill connected more. I believe I saw the strike significance, and I believe I saw her name all 3 rounds, or maybe no, sorry, round 2 and 3 higher, but maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I saw it wrong. I definitely saw her significant strike was higher for a round or 2 anyway. But good back and forth fight, good pace, very fun. For the women's strawweight division, that's number 9 and 11. So I don't think that really stirs things up too much for that division, to be honest with you, right?
Mm. Question.
Strawweight is Zhang Wei Li, yeah. So it doesn't really change things much. That just kind of keeps
Well,
things around here.
question for you though. Did Angela Hill fight with her afro out?
No. I think she braided it. I'm trying to think, but I think it was braided, yeah.
Makes more sense. I was like,
Uh,
man, that's a tough fight to have if you got like hair like that and you
yeah, I mean, could you imagine trying to
I've never seen anybody.
Do you know
Fight.
what? There's someone I'm thinking
You?
now who was on the Ultimate Fighter back in the days,
Yeah,
and he had a
yeah, the afro. Big
yeah, like
fucking
yeah,
microphone, yeah? Like,
yeah. I mean, like I think he styled it obviously that way, like you know, what I mean, he made it puffy and whatnot. But
sure.
can't remember the name.
Okay. All right. Oh,
Middleweight bout,
yeah, yeah,
Robert
yeah.
Valentin versus Ryan Loder. This was a Ultimate Fighter championship winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was more wrestling and grappling heavy from Ryan. I didn't follow Ultimate Fighter at all, to be honest. So this was my first time seeing these guys, and this was a grappling based fight from what I saw. And I believe the commentators were saying Ryan's background was more wrestling and whatnot. So you know, that's all I took from that fight.
Hmm.
Did you see? I mean, the next one
Gosh,
I could speak more about because it was a bit more
damn.
exciting, but
I
anything on that one?
No, no. All I saw was the tape with Robert Valentine, and it showed him bust some guy up and then go for a rear naked. And there was blood everywhere, and he looked like a savage. So I thought, oh, okay, and I was thinking we're gonna get something similar, or it's gonna be a mess. And then I went downstairs and had lunch, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, was it a good
Um,
finish?
I don't think it was a finish. It was just it
Just
went. I
KO,
went TKO.
TKO.
What did I
Yeah,
miss then? I missed it obviously. What I'm trying to think then.
been out here drinking tea, man.
Yeah, I was drinking coffee with some Butters oat milk that my wife bought. um, what did I miss? What did I miss? TKO,
You don't
TKO.
like oat milk, no?
No, no. I am fine with it. She bought this basically, you know, oat milk's got like sometimes got like rapeseed in it and stuff, oils and stuff like that to keep it creamy. So we was trying to buy one without all that shit. And
Oh.
so she ended up buying this powder form, which is just pure oat milk, oats basically, and it was Butters. Anyway,
I don't like the sound of that.
round two TKO. What did I miss? I'm trying to think. What was it?
You out
Ah,
here, that oat milk.
sorry, man, blank. But I do remember this one though. I remember the featherweight one.
Yeah. That knockout was
Mario and
delicious.
Sato. Again, listen, this is my first introduction to these guys because I didn't watch the Ultimate Fight. But
Dog.
bro, Santos was piecing up this dude
Yeah.
and off Lee, piecing him up, bro. Just the range, the strikes, and then just that finish, that beautiful left hook at the
Yeah.
end
And then he was like
was
grabbing it like coop, 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 coop.
yeah, because he fell on his knees. He was out on he dropped to his knees and he was out like
Yeah.
on his knees, like it was
Yeah.
bad.
You don't see
Yeah.
those knockouts often like that, you know? It was pretty bizarre and brutal looking. Very brutal.
And he looked good, man. He looked good, Santos. Like the countering, you know, like I just feel like his movement was great. He was
Oh
able to
yeah.
counter well,
Yeah.
getting the strikes off well. Very nice, man. Very
Yeah.
nice. And
He
he's
did.
young as well. He's
Very
young.
young.
And I love the way he was like, I like his, I don't know, listen, I just liked his personality. He looked at Bisbin and goes, I want to follow your footsteps. You were Ultimate Fighting Champion, then became a champion. He goes, I know I'm young, I've got a long way to go, but this is the beginning. I was like, I like this guy's attitude. And he trained with
Hmm.
Bilal Muhammad and
Yes.
whatnot and all this sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So, man, like, I don't know. We'll wait, we'll see. We'll see for the future. But I liked his attitude, man.
Yeah, I did too. I like his movement was it really interesting. He did a nice little stutter, and then he initiated like a little bit of feint, and then he'll go for the leg kick. It was very timed and meticulous, and he gave awfully no chance, and that finish was just a testament to what he set up throughout the fight. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Moving on, man. Neil Magny versus
Oh my
Michael
God, you got
Morales.
oh
Bro, it was that spinning elbow that I feel like started
ah,
it off. Like
was
when he, you know, when he had his back and he just smashed him with the elbow and then just kind of
ah,
finished him from there, man.
it's like man, get off me,
Yeah, it was like one of those, isn't it?
get
Magny,
off
man,
me,
still doing a thing. Like the guy's such a veteran, though, to be honest with you. I believe he was in the Ultimate
Magni.
Fighter as well, right?
I believe Magni was. I believe Magni was. Yeah, I believe he was. He's been around forever. And the funny thing is, I was saying to myself, "Oh, Neil Magny's fighting." I was like, "Man, this guy can never get knocked out." And then he got TKO'd or whatever. I was like, "Shit, I gotta be careful what I say."
Yeah. No, I mean,
He's a vet, though.
Magny
He's a
is a
vet.
vet. That's what it is, man. And he's number 12. You know, I don't know. I don't think Morales was ranked. You know, I think Magny is now like He's just gonna keep. I reckon. I don't know if he hasn't retired. He'll probably just keep fighting in that sort of level, top 15 type of thing.
Because
But yeah,
he never gets beaten the fuck up out of, or made an example of. He's always
well,
game
I
normally.
mean, he fought
I mean,
Shavkat. Shavkat beat him. He fought Ian Gary.
hey,
Ian Gary
Shafkat
beat
beats
him. Ian
everybody
Gary.
up that
True, true. Ian Gary
Ian
beat him
Gary
up.
everybody up like that, right?
True.
These are high class, but I'm talking about the people who are lesser known. He's not getting walked over. You know,
Yeah,
not getting
yeah.
he's not. Yeah, he's not. So I don't know. Maybe he needs to. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. To be
Yeah, it's
honest.
been around for ages, man. It's been around for
Yeah,
ages.
but
But that
I
welterweight
respect him
division is a scary
massively.
division, man. And when all of these divisions are scary, man. But middleweight, bro. I have to say, Gerald Meerschaert for me was the MVP of the card, bro.
Why is that?
He
Tell me
was
why.
fighting Edmund Shabazian. Shabazian was faster, kind
Yeah,
of piecing him up, knocked him
yeah.
down, leg kicks. The leg kicks were brutal and whatnot. And then I thought Gerald Meerschaert ain't gonna win for shit, man. My guy pulls off a beautiful head and arm triangle. It was amazing. Took
That's it.
down about I don't know if Abazian Shabazian,
Shabazz.
so yeah, like gassed himself out because I think he clipped Gerald in the first round. Then he tried to just
Woman.
kind of, swarm him, and then he
Yeah.
stayed on top on the first round. And then in the second round, man, because Gerald did go for a couple of takedowns, he didn't get him, but then he got the takedown in the second round and finished him, bro. Head and arm triangle.
Yeah.
Guys, just
Say that.
yeah, you got to give it to him. There's something about him. He's a veteran as well, and he just pulled it off a bit against the young Shabazian. And Shabazian, at one point had a lot of hype around him. Remember, like Ronda Rousey, head movement, all that sort of stuff, and that guy. And then maybe that was the problem. Maybe that was the problem. Too much hype. Let the kid grow. Let him grow. Like why put that pressure and all that sort of stuff and false. Maybe look, no disrespect because I don't know shit, right? But maybe it's that coach because that coach also gave false hopes to Ronda Rousey that she had that world-class striking rather than stick to your base, which is judo, throw someone and armbar them, right? Which was she was a master at. Then my guy, just given I don't know, man. Train obviously she's a mixed martial artist, she is gonna, but she got so confident with her striking, and that was her downfall overall, where she should have just stuck to her base. And I don't know with
Mhm.
Edmund as well. Like, I don't know, but if it's kind of like I know your coach is supposed to boost you up, but there's also like there should be a level of like a reality. Like, so we need to work
Mm.
on this, we need to work on that. This is where you're
Mm.
strong at, so push this. I don't know. I don't know. But this kid there was a lot of hype around him, and now I'm not saying the hype's gone, he's still young, there's still years to go, but
Kind of
like
is.
yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, right now, unless he brings himself up in the future, but right now that young star is gone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't forget there was Travis Brown that was part of that camp too. And once he
Mhm.
did with Rousey and Edmund, what's his name? Whatever his name is, head movement, he also went down. Remember? He also dropped down a lot because remember Travis Brown when he came out heavyweight and he was like almost like an Aspinall type of character, in the sense that he moved like a middleweight. And then he joined that camp and yeah.
Mhm.
So, but you know what? Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's always going to be about mindset. People can say you're the next this and you're the next that and so on, and let it get to your head. And you obviously need a high level of delusion to do this, right? A
Mhm.
healthy level of delusion that I am the best and I can take on everybody and I'll be champion. There is a delusional element to that, and there's nothing wrong with those things. But if you can't keep that up and train and adapt and evolve, then you just end up on the canvas, man.
That's it. No, I agree. I agree definitely. Anyone who gets into the UFC and wants to do this as a career, and then you get into the UFC, you have to believe you're the best. You have to see, Israel Adesanya be like, yeah, I could beat him. Like you have that. You have to see Alex Pereira and be like, yeah, I could beat him. Like you have to have that mentality. Otherwise, so yeah. I know I don't. I'll be like, well, fuck this. I'm gonna lose against that guy. What the fuck am I doing here? Bro? I'm gonna go get my CV ready and start applying for some jobs because this shit ain't gonna work out. But that's my mentality. That's why I'm not a champion. But yeah, The
For me,
only
I'll be like, "Hey, who's your therapist? I can take over."
yeah.
I ain't trying to fight nobody, but I'll sort out your neck.
The only fight I saw in the prelims was this one. This is the only one well, okay, look, I'll be honest with you. The rest were all on, but there was kind of like background, so I didn't really pay much attention. But this fight here, it started and it ended quick. And
Oh,
this girl here, this
Wang Hong.
Wang Hong, I believe it was her first UFC debut. She's
Yeah.
actually beaten Valentina Shevchenko in a kickboxing fight they mentioned, which is why I was like, oh, okay, let's see what. And bro, she knocked out flyweight female, and she knocked her out with a beautiful right hand. It was just so clean, like just set up with a jab and came all the way through with the right hand. Interesting. Listen, interesting. So, like we'll see. We'll see. That's what I'm saying for now. We'll see. If
Okay,
she's
okay.
beat Shevchenko in a kickboxing fight, and then she just done that on her debut, we shall see. I think she said she wants to fight in Macau. Obviously, she's from China, so she wants to fight there. We'll see. That's it. But
Okay,
yeah, man.
I'll keep an eye out. Wow.
That's it.
Huh. The card
I've,
then, huh?
yeah, it was
Overall,
decent.
a good warm up, right?
Yeah, next week we got. Is it next
Oh,
we've
oh,
2 weeks. 2 weeks. We've got
that's
a
still a
break
good
next
fight.
week. This is a great fight. It's a
That's
great
yeah.
fight.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh
we
yeah.
can try and break this one down next week. But who we got here? We got Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. We got Jessica Andrade versus Natalie Silva. You got Steve Garcia versus Carl Nelson. Who else there? Man, any of these dudes? Yeah. Okay.
So we've
Trevor
got
Pink. Okay. Okay. Well, next week maybe we can go with Ryan Standard. Yeah, I think we briefly. I remember this now. We briefly spoke about it last week.
we did
Maybe
brief.
next
Yeah.
week, because there's no card, maybe we can just catch up and just kind of talk about this one and future fights and any news and whatnot. From a news perspective, do you have anything? Well, there was this boxing thing here, which is the bullshit boxing, but Mayweather dominates Gotti in exhibition, removes referee mid-fight. I don't know. Another exhibition fight from Mayweather. This stuff is just silly to me. I'm not really interested in it, to be honest. But he fought John Gotti's grandson, I believe it is. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. What else? Any other news you've heard of this week?
Ooh, I've been off the grid when it came to that. However,
Bare pop-ups, man. Fuck it up.
uh,
Emotional guidelines, completely paid for. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't remember any other news that I could think of.
not really. I mean, just the idea that Strickland fighting DDP, that is happening, isn't it? I heard that that's definitely the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard about that. I heard Strickland didn't want to fight in South Africa, so they've I don't know where they're fighting, but that was what it was initially, like his hesitancy. But I think that they've solidified that, so that's happening. Other than that, about the big time. Oh, I just heard that Tom Aspinall's been trolling the fuck out of John Jones. You know, have you heard about that?
Okay. Yeah. I think he's been trolling it for a while, right? And but yeah.
He elevated it now.
Okay.
Yeah, he did this he did this video, yeah, where he's like he's like a that he kind of like matches two videos together. So it's John Jones doing something and he's going somewhere and then Tom's like, hey John, and then he runs after him and then he's gone somewhere else. Then he's like running on the bike and he sees John it's a clip of John cycling and then he's like, John, and then all of a sudden John's in another location. And then he got like a clip of John in the pool, and he's like, John, I'll be there in a moment. Jumps into the pool, and he's like, and he's everywhere he's gone. He's like, it just and then
It's
at the
proper
very
trolling
end,
him.
yeah. And then at the very end, he's like, he has like an open kind of farmyard, and he's like, where's John? And then the camera goes to these ducks, and he's like, there he is.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, Aspinall just trying to promote. I mean, that fight's already promoted. I guess he's trying to get under John's skin to be
might
like,
as
sign the
well.
contract, let's do it. Like, why are you waiting for
It might.
Stipe? I mean, it didn't like no.
Stipe's injured. Sorry, I heard Stipe's injured. That's
Is that
the
true?
thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't confirmed it, but I heard that he's injured. It was everywhere, and I didn't read it. So that might be a thing. So it puts John in a difficult situation if he doesn't want to fight Aspinall. I mean, it's tough to say no, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, John's such a legend, man. Does he even need to? Can he just retire and say, I'm done? But people, you know the world, you know what the world's gonna happen? Oh, you duck Aspen or you're not Aspen. You know,
And that's
they're
what
just
they're
gonna pull
saying.
on that's what they're saying. And I don't know. I don't know. And you know, with the obviously the Ngannou fight, I don't think he was ducking that. You know, he didn't, you know what I mean? I feel like that one would have happened if Ngannou could have worked something out with the UFC. But I don't. I mean, I feel like Ngannou is a bit more scarier than. Actually, I don't know because Aspinall is kind of scary as well. Ngannou has a scarier presence with those knockouts. Aspinall is a bit more like scary because of his like athleticism and whatnot. But in regards to like fear, I'll be way more fear of Ngannou than Aspinall. If that makes sense. Like I'll die against both of
Mm,
them, for example. But what I'm saying is,
I
I
see.
feel like Ngannou, like the Predator, will rip me in two. Whereas, you know, Aspinall would just like punch my head off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
And
Anyway,
then it probably give you a cup of tea and
probably
crumpet
exactly.
because he's such a nice guy.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, hey, listen, I would love to see that fight happen. I would love to. Hey, listen, if John Jones takes that fight and wins, I would say retire, bro. Retire. You're the man now. You're the greatest of all time. Like in this
Yeah,
era right now, you're the greatest of all time. No one can ever deny it. If he
yeah.
beats Aspinall, what? That's three generations, like two generations of light heavyweight, and then is that two or three generations that light heavyweight that he took out? Two or three, I can't remember. And then the new generation in
So
heavyweight. Well,
Shogun Hua, right? Lyoto
that's
Machida,
that's one generation. All those
Peter
classic
Belfort.
dudes.
Yeah, yeah, all of them. So he became like the legend killer of UFC.
Yeah. So the new generation was where his fights were a bit, you know, like against
The Rampage,
Santos,
the
uh,
some. Yes, yes. So yeah,
them guys. I can't remember their names now. That's how bad it is. But
Santos, Dominic Reyes,
Reyes is the
uh,
one that people think he lost against.
arguably Alexander Gustafsson. You know those are well, those were the newer generation, absolutely. And
Yeah.
have you
And those
noticed
ones he
that
had his fights were harder with those guys.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. So it's like it it became more of a closer fight as he got to the end of his light heavyweight run.
Hmm.
Um, and to fight somebody who's got the power and the speed and so on, yeah, it is definitely going to be a lot more dangerous for him. But you know, John Jones is John Jones, and he can do everything.
Hmm.
And he ain't got to prove anything to anybody. You know, like once he's done, he could just be like, all right, Twitter, blam,
And he
Instagram,
left
blam.
undefeated. Forget that 6-12 elbow bullshit. He's undefeated. Like that, everyone knows it. They've changed the
Yeah,
rules to that as well. That by November, it's all changed that, and they're changing the grounded opponent as well, which will be interesting. I think you really have to be grounded rather than just putting your hand on the floor and all that shit.
yeah. I mean that makes it clearer, but it also makes it more dangerous if you end up getting like potentially soccer kicks. So we're gonna see
Yeah,
what happens.
one championship, but you know, they do it, you know, so you can't just turtle up or not. I
True.
mean, I don't know if you could, you still can't kick grounded opponent, but you can't just put your hand down and whatnot. So you can't use that to your advantage. You've got to defend yourself properly, basically. You've got to,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, that means that, like, okay, for instance, yeah, I'll pick your brain. I know it's not something that you drilled, but what would you do in that case if you're in that position and you're gonna get down and you have to think about the threat of a knee or a kick or in that moment? What would you do in that situation? What would be your drill to kind of get around that and avoid the damage? What would you do?
yeah, I mean, in regards to drill, I don't know what drill, but what I would do from a self-defense
Yeah,
perspective, say for example,
yeah.
I can't stand up. Say he's got my back, right? So if we're only in a position where someone's kind of got your
Okay.
back-ish
Sure.
and you're kind of bending over and whatnot. So say
Sure.
if like if I could try and stand up and hand fight and avoid the takedown and
Yeah.
whatnot, I'll try and do
Okay.
that. But if that
Okay.
doesn't work and I feel like I am going to the ground, I'm just kind of in the middle, my
Yeah.
hand on the floor is not going to save me because you're going to kick me in the face. I'd rather not take you can't take the kick to the face. I possibly might take like pull guard, try and go to the ground. Be
Right.
it like I don't know what's that Grammy roll thing. I don't know.
Right. When you
That
yeah.
might be fancy sort of shit, but I don't want
Sure.
to get kicked in the face that way. So I might actually go down
Right.
because the rules in the UFC, right, is if you go down, they can't kick you
Yeah.
in the face, right?
That's
So
right.
I might just take that and try my work my way back up or something like that, right? If I can't, that's what I'm saying. If first option doesn't work, meaning that I can't get up, get my push, like stand up and fight two hands to one or break the grip or whatever. I don't want to be in that middle limbo and get kicked in the face, so I might just go down. Be it not necessarily turtle position, but maybe try to get more in a defensive position if you can kind of roll into guard or something like that.
Got you.
Something. But
Yeah.
I would not want to be in a position to get kicked in the face. So that's what I would be. Like, and if it was one championship, again, that's scary as well, because even if I go down, I can still get kicked in the face and soccer kicked and all that sort of stuff. Do they do soccer? I don't know if you could do soccer kick, but you can like knee. They can take your side control and knee you on the ground and all that sort of stuff. But again, you got to be defensive. So obviously, you got to make sure you're protected in that area. You got to watch their leg and whatnot, and put yourself in a position where you can more easily defend it, be it block it or something like that, or whatever. So being in a position where your one hand's on the floor, it's not safe. You can't block a kick like that. It's gonna fucking hurt you, man. So I'd rather be in a position where it's like, you know what, just like sacrifice. Like that's what I mean, sacrifice the position, be it drop to the ground to avoid getting that head kick and just work my way from there. But listen. Okay. What do I know? What do I know, man? I'm not the one in doing it, but there's drills. There's definitely.
You know more than me, and those listening, take note. Take note, and look forward to the new rules kicking in
November. Hey, those grapplers. Could you imagine Khabib? Could you imagine like he won championship rules at Khabib? Like he would need the shit out of your head if he had that if he was allowed to do that. Could you imagine that? Just dominate position and be throwing knees from like side control in, like, bro, it'd be a problem.
I could see him like Dagestani handcuff somebody and then use punches and kind of like position up and go for a knee against the cage. And I could see,
It's gonna be more fun for wrestlers because wrestlers will be able to kind of do different kind of damage on the ground and possibly get more knockouts, because obviously a knee to the ground. And again, they're not going to be completely on the ground, but those sort of positions can give you more opportunities. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's another evolution, isn't it?
We should wait and see. That's what's fun about the sport, because it's still growing. It's still growing and still making up, like, or making new rules and stuff. Cool, man. Cool. I mean, that's it, I guess, man. Like, there's nothing else really to catch up on. Next week we'll catch up on the next card, and then the week after that we'll see that card, but the week after that is the spare card, so that's gonna be the spare card, which is gonna be fun. So yeah, let's leave it there, man. Let's leave it there, guys. Thank you so much again for your love, support, comments. We've got some great comments on we got a great comment on the last video about Izzy and DDP, so appreciate the guys interaction. Yeah, check out. They just gave their breakdown as well on DDP.
Nice.
And whatnot.
Look. Okay.
Yeah, take a look. Yeah, add a little comment if you want as well. Communicate.
I need to actually take the video and make some shorts, because I've been out of practice of that. I need to get into that too. But yeah, I'll have a look at that. That's nice,
man. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, man. And guys, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all the good stuff. And we out. See you in the next one. Peace.